Randy's Random Rants. Before we start our day, I just want to address something that I came across in the media tabloids, something that's come to my attention. It's a little boy, his name is Seven Bridges. He's a 10-year-old boy that apparently, allegedly killed himself by hanging himself, suicide, over being bullied by, I wouldn't call them friends, but peers, schoolmates, but we'll leave it at peers. And it really bothered me. It's bothering me fully, like to the max. He's such a cute kid, like, and it's really a shame that he didn't feel empowered enough at the point in his life to be able to overcome and overlook and look past the bullying. At the time, which would more than likely eventually stop, but just how hard it is for some people to get over being mentally pounded on and beat up. And I mean, from what I understand, he's been physically bullied too, and nobody should have to go through that or anything like it, you know. And there's a lot of things going on. You've got the Asian thing, people getting on Asians for whatever reason. You always got the black and white thing. I mean, we've got everything going on. But for children to make another child feel, and I mean, we've all, you know, growing up, everybody has stories of something that they may have made a bad choice and don't feel too good or happy about. I don't know how these people feel. Anybody that can actually say that, yeah, I've actually bullied him, or I touched him, or beat him up, or called him whatever, made fun of him, laughed at him, and then the end result ends in the boy tragically killing himself. It's pretty sad. It's very sad. And for the people that care about him, it makes it even more of a tragedy. But I mean, the real tragedy is that little boy not being able to live a life, and like, you could look in his pictures, he still had that a bright smile, and it's like, you know, you could tell he was a sprightly kid and everything, you know. And for somebody to have to live like that day by day, and, you know, have to deal with or put up with knowing that people don't like them, and people are or like you, and people are gonna pick on you no matter what, you know, and you can still find happiness and joy in life. You know, it's really, it's very, very disturbing. It's situations like this that make me check myself and take a real good look at myself and evaluate certain things that come up, whatever it is that comes up. And when they do, I definitely work on them. There's a lot of things that I don't do. There's a lot of things that I won't do. Once I recognize my faults. Not everything. There's some things that I may have problems overcoming or eradicating or whatever. But I just want to tell people, the kids or anybody that has some kind of problem. And this boy, he got bullied for having a colostomy bag because of surgeries. And a colostomy bag, for whoever doesn't know, is when you have to, it's a bag that you have to use the bathroom in because your either your kidneys or your bowels or whatever, like you can't use the bathroom like normally or whatever. Some people for a certain amount of time, some people inherently, some people for the rest of their lives, you know. For people that have problems, disabilities, especially children, you're in special ed, some kind of program, you ride a small bus, you wear a helmet, whatever it is. And it sounds like jokes, but I'm a special ed kid. I wouldn't have it any other way. But the difference between me and other people is I made special ed look good. Now, it's your turn. You can also do the same. You too can be a special ed kid and make it look good. But let me add this. All jokes aside, if you have a disability, no matter what it is, you have something that other people do not have. That boy right there, I could look at him. I wish that I could have talked or spoke to him. So now I'm speaking to whoever hears this. If you have some kind of disability, you have capabilities that other people do not have. That is a fact, a given. Okay? That boy, I could look at him and tell that he would have grew up into a butterfly. He's not a caterpillar, he ain't ugly, but there's, things that he may not like or other people wouldn't like. When he reached his prime or just adolescence, he would mature into something so beautiful. Like it's amazing. And it's just sad that he didn't have anybody. I don't know if he did have anybody to tell him that or whatever, but obviously he didn't feel that way. And he, like people like him, it's like a diamond in the rough. Like when you crush something and you hurt something or like whatever it is, like, and especially a person, we as human beings, we transform, we mutate, we adapt, and all other kinds of things. But somebody like him, he would grow up, he'd be a beautiful person, handsome, muscular, unique body, physique, you know, his mental capabilities. I mean, just from going through the stresses that he went through, he would have certain mental capabilities that he would have adapted to and exercised because he had no choice to. Like, you know, and everybody has these things, to each his own. Everyone has, you know, a tailor-made benefit, just like the devil has a tailor-made suit for everybody. There's tailor-made benefits that everybody has that makes you unique. And when you grow into them, it becomes it becomes your power, it becomes your stability, becomes your crutch without having to use somebody else or anybody else as your crutch and stability. But if you have problems, special ed kids, let me tell you what special ed kids are to me. We, or you are the real X-Men. You see X-Men, the movies, Marvel comics, books, you know? Look at Professor X. Where is he going without that wheelchair? Unless, you know, if he didn't have those mental capabilities. Cyclops. Look at them. Like when you look at them, they all are, I mean, you have ones with physical mutations, and like, who would want to look like the Thing? You know? I mean, seriously, but they all have things that are super about them, that are so outstanding that they oversee and overseed most, if not all, human beings. And that's the way you need to see yourself. If you have a disability, there's a capability that you have that nobody has. And once you find that, I mean, who knows? Maybe you won't be happy. Maybe you aren't happy with your capability and you wish that you had somebody else's, you know? If you had iron claws, you don't want them. You want Cyclops eyes or the Hulk strength. Well, that's too bad. But I can tell you that there's something very special inside of you. And especially if you have some kind of disability that makes you so different than other people that it can be made fun of, it seems funny, it's different to the point where people pick on you or pick on it or use it against you. Trust me, there's something there that will override and balance all of that out. If you find out or you know what it is and you exercise and work on it. But the last thing I want to say is you people, you really need to get a hold of your kids, teach your kids some manners, and I don't know, maybe put them on your lap and I don't know. But I don't want to I don't need to have some kind of repercussion for me telling somebody to freaking spank their little bad behind kids. But anyway, you need to do something about your kids. If your kids are running around bullying kids, you ever see them movies, little scary movies and stuff? Like, this ain't a game. Like, people have souls and spirits. There's really spirits out there, out here. We were really made and framed after something before us. There's really power out there that surpasses the knowledge and things that you can imagine. There really is a Twilight Zone. I don't know if it's called the Twilight Zone though. But anyway, let me just tell you what you don't want. I mean, first let me get back to your kids. They need to have some manners. They need to know their place. And I mean, they really need to have a lot more respect for life and just anything. Because we've lost that. Well, they've lost that. There's no respect, no loyalty, no real love anymore. It's like watered down, washed down, whatever it is that you want to choose. Like some watered down Kool-Aid. You need to not only watch your kids, but teach your kids positive, uplifting things. Remember, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Obviously, that has gone out the window maybe decades ago. Because, I mean, you guys got kids with cameras and phones and all kinds of stuff sitting in class. Like, I mean, I don't know where we got, but you actually got kids bullying one another to the point where another kid is so singled out that he feels or she feels like they need to go and commit suicide and kill themselves, and they haven't even reached maturity yet, adolescence. And I bet you none of these kids got reprimanded. None of them got any kind of discipline. None of them got any kind of structural conversation or input on the situation at hand. So with that said, let me tell you what you don't want. One thing that you definitely don't want in life. See, I don't believe that when you die, your spirit goes and does whatever. I believe that you're dead. But there are different spirits that are attached to you. You got demons and you got angels. Now, when you die, those things don't die with you. Those are the things that stick around. So, if you think that you're playing with Ouija boards and you think you're talking to Uncle Tom, or you think you're talking to Aunt Barbara, or you think you're talking to your dad or whoever it is, your lost lover, you know, think you're gonna meet him through some medium and go fucking play with some clay like ghosts and shit. Now, if you do reach some kind of spirit, you're not talking to Uncle John and Aunt Barbara. What you're talking to is one of, or if not one, many of the demons, or yeah, they will be demons, but I'm going to just say spirits that were attached to the person that you knew. Because they know the person that you knew better than you do, and that person knew themselves. So now with that said, what you do not want is some little black boy that never got to live his life running around in your house haunting you. Or in your car, or at your job, or at your school, or whatever it is. All of a sudden, you just get these feelings, not just feelings, but you know you're seeing some little black boy running past you in the shower and taking the bread off your plate. You don't know what happened. I mean, but maybe that is what you want. Here's another fun fact for you. A well-known one too. Boy, Lil Bridges, Lil 7, that would have been my dude, B. Know what I'm saying? And we would have been fighting on some real if I knew that kid, if I was a kid or not. Word. And that was my little homie. Like, I don't care. I don't care who you are. If we click, see eye to eye, you can have one arm, you can have a helmet on, you can have a half a leg, you could be whatever, 3 fingers. If you could still play video games, we could play video games all day. You want to play some basketball? Like, somebody mess with somebody I fuck with, I'm fucking you up, son. Like, I wish I knew that little kid. Word. I'm trying to tell you. That shit is so fucked up to me. And it really, really pisses me off. Like, I would be fucking people up fucking with that little kid, B. Word. Until he could defend himself. And you better believe that one day he'd be able to defend himself. Word. People making fun of him and shit. Like, he'd be one of them motherfuckers you'd be scared of and shit. Eventually. I mean, it's just too bad he didn't know that. And when I say scared of, I don't necessarily mean scared of him because he's going to shoot you or beat you up because he grew so many muscles because you was pissing him off so much he went to the gym and started working out to do some MMA and come and put you in a freaking vice grip and freaking till you can't breathe anymore, you know? But nah, he was probably a very, very intelligent boy. You can scare people with intelligence too, you know? So don't be trying to take my words and tangle them up like a fucking pretzel and shit. Like you people obviously do. Yo, look what they did to the game, insane. Like what the fuck, where all these fucking lanes come? Where they going? They fucking lane done. 10 years from now, you won't even know them. I like where the fuck all my niggas that I grew up with. Listening to what the